Hey guys, this is Katrina with IdeateTV, and I'm here with Vanessa, who is a voiceover actress. Hi Vanessa, how's it going?
Hey, excellent. How are you? You having a good WonderCon so far?
I am. This is my first time, and actually first time interviewing a voiceover actress.
No way. Excellent. Yeah, well, I play Hera on Star Wars Rebels and also Forces of Destiny, Gamora on Guardians of the Galaxy, and a bunch of other superheroes, and Black Canary on Young Justice. So I've had the honor of playing a number of really cool characters.
They're not only cool, but they're also very female empowerment roles too.
They are indeed. That's right. I'm a martial artist, so yay, cool. I can protect us.
Yay, at least one of us can. Right?
Yeah, but it's been funny as my martial arts practice grew. I started booking more and more of these characters that are sort of these empowered, really iconic female characters. So it's been a fun journey.
And you say journey, so how was this journey as a voiceover and then mixing that in with your martial art?
Well, I went to Princeton for undergrad, and I majored in English. I love stories. I love telling stories. And then I got a master's in acting at NYU. And I was born here in Los Angeles, so I returned from the East Coast to Los Angeles and started doing stand-up and sketch comedy. And I wrote a one-person show, and I did about 15 different characters in it, and an agent saw me perform in that and said, I think you might want to try animation. So I did, and I have been doing it ever since, and it's just been so much fun. And in that time, I decided to take up martial arts, and then my first role that I ever booked was Irwin in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And Irwin is a little African-American boy. So, yeah, so that's sort of where I began. And then as my martial arts practice grew, I started getting more female characters. And yeah, so it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, so for martial arts and, your journey as well, because you said you started off in Princeton, and how did that kind of evolve? You just kind of, it came at you out of nowhere, or you just...
Well, like I said, doing all the characters, that sort of like an SNL sketch, I demonstrated that I could do all these different voices, and a voiceover agent saw me, so in a sense, I was discovered, I guess, in that way. But for me, it's all about telling stories, and I majored in English at Princeton. I read everything I could get my hands on, and, so I think it was a natural... I mean, I'm reading English out loud for a living, so maybe the segue isn't so bizarre. And with a master's in acting, I have the ability to do different dialects and stuff like that. So I'm putting my education to good use.
Absolutely. And so how do you kind of take that? Is there any voice kind of heroes, or do you invest yourself or create something? And can you show me now?
Well, June Foray is one of my heroes. She taught me to arrive at any job an hour early, which, first of all, which is always good. Better to be early than late. Well, there were all sorts of vocal exercises that we did in drama school. Your typical tongue twisters and whatever, lily lolly, luli lolly, stuff like that. And as far as building a character, some of Stanislavski's methods are also helpful. But I have definitely utilized every piece of information that I was taught, so I'm very grateful.
And you mentioned that your dad was a reporter. So how do you kind of take that on? I mean, that's great that you have someone that's at least somewhat involved in the industry, I'm sure. Yeah.
You know what's funny? My father, his name is John Marshall. He was a news reporter at NBC for many years. He won Emmys, and so he was a TV news reporter. My mom was on a TV show called Dallas and Knots Landing, and these were hugely popular. Knots Landing was on for 13 years, so they were both in the entertainment industry, but my mom was in sort of the more theatrical area, and my dad was in the more sort of factual journalistic area. And so as the child, the byproduct of those two individuals, I found my favorite place is in stand-up comedy, where I can look at the world and ask people questions, and it's a natural extension to moderate a panel. I'm grateful to be moderating the panel today. I have the ability to act, and I'm able to do those things, but I also have sort of the curiosity that I'm sure you have,
yeah,
where you just want to sort of know more about people and things. And my dad very much instilled that in me. And I'm grateful that I get to, embrace those aspects of myself today and as I roam the earth.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that. I mean, it's really inspirational for sure meeting people like you who've really been in it, and I'm learning so much about your journey and being inspired because sometimes it just gets so doubtful and fearful sometimes.
The good thing is, well, it's not a good thing, but I think we're all united in having sort of doubts and fears, and any way that we can lift each other up and let each other know that we're not alone. Little gestures on a daily basis, stuff like that, whether it's here or, even in the supermarket line. But I feel the same way, and I've met people who went ahead of me who are kind, and that seems to be the winning formula. So I hear you.
Well, thank you so much, Vanessa. Very, very honored, and what a pleasure to meet and learn from you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much.
All right, again, this is Katrina with IdeateTV here at Wondercon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.